So here's a quick one which completely backs up why I say in so many of the videos I do on the other channels, why if you have a breakup and your girl does you wrong, your girlfriend, your wife, whatever, cheating on you, something along those lines, a guy, as humiliating as it is, he must control the narrative and let people know the reasons why they broke up. Because if he doesn't, because he's humiliated or embarrassed with what happened, she can then tell her version of the story and make him look bad or have surprises down the road. And of course, how I say all the time, when it comes to women and accountability, we all know darn well they don't want to do it. And the situation here, this guy tells the truth and it's a meltdown. Title: Am I the a-hole for enlightening my ex-mother-in-law on my reasons to divorce her daughter? Now watch this. Around a year ago, I divorced G, my significant other of 18 years. Almost a month ago, I ran into her mother, with whom I always had a good relationship with. She stopped and we had a nice chat, and a nice enough chat, until she goes, "I'm happy you're doing well, but why did you hurt G like that?" At first I thought she meant the divorce as such, but after a short conversation, I learned that G had been spouting a, let's say, somewhat colored version of how things happen. Imagine that. This is why I say a guy has to tell people the real reasons. She says, among other things, I left without warning. I not only told my ex I felt the relationship was a breaking point probably 100 times in the last year, I was also clear from the moment I made my decision. I also suggested to see a marriage counselor, which she flat out refused. Okay, this guy was making an effort she didn't want to. Next to that, I'm responsible for her diminished income and played her when she bought our mutually owned house. I gave her a good price, and I could have easily forced more, and I agreed on her paying in terms so she didn't need to get a loan. She did, but that wasn't necessary. And as a last thing, it traumatized our kid, which I've been vigilant about, and the kid itself is clear about me standing up as a father. Okay, so this guy was making every effort to try to make the marriage work. Nope, she wasn't interested. And try to make it easy in the divorce, and still he's the bad guy. The last thing rubbing me the wrong way, I went to great lengths to be there for him. So I told my ex-mother-in-law why I divorced, the hysterical antics, the I have to always be right attitude, the theft of my dog. Long story short, she had taken him off the adoption papers, so I couldn't take him with me, the yelling and screaming every evening. Stop right there. She took the freaking dog and took away the paperwork so he can't prove it's his dog. Oh, hell no. And he just let her control the narrative. She left me without saying much, but a few hours later I got a voice message from my ex, which is mostly screaming, and the voices of my ex-mother-in-law and son trying to calm her down in the background. I feel like I'm the a-hole here because I couldn't keep my mouth shut, and she might take this out on my son. And my ex-mother-in-law doesn't deserve such harsh words on her own daughter. No, Mr. Nice Guy. Your ex is an a-hole to the 10th degree, to the 100th degree. Your ex-mother-in-law is a big girl. She can take care of herself. Yeah, you can see why you ended it with her. But guys, this is why, like I said, right there, he told the truth what really happened, because she certainly didn't get the true story of the ex-mother-in-law. And when she talks to her daughter about it, the daughter has a meltdown, screaming and yelling at him and all that. It's ridiculous. So, as humiliating as it is, if your girlfriend cheats on you, your wife cheats on you, any extent of all that, tell people, tell your family, tell your friends, tell her family, tell the UPS driver, tell your gardener, the plumber, I don't care who. Anybody. Because otherwise, she's going to tell a BS story, and it could actually cause you harm, not just damage and tarnish your reputation. And I might add, also damage things with your kids and friends and all that. And that's what typically happens, right? And of course, the gals and accountability. So it's a real quick one here, but just making that point. And God forbid he tells what happens, and she has a giant meltdown, takes it out on him, the mother-in-law, all that. So definitely a quick one to remember that lesson, gentlemen.